Hi, Gloria here with Healing You. What is needed for an environment to nurture growth and development? It's a sacred space where it feels safe to be vulnerable. I love horses, children, and relational neuroscience. I also love language, both verbal and nonverbal, and the effect that words and actions have on how we perceive and on how we feel about others, both horse and human. So I spent well over a decade immersed in the study of nonviolent communication, interpersonal neurobiology, and resonant language, learning what happens when we take the time to slow down and respond with warmth when we relate to ourselves and to others, including horses. As the mother of 5 children, I found my youngest was the one who inspired me to dig deeper and to look outside the box. And my horses are the ones who consistently stayed in relationship with me. They strengthened my heart when things felt really tough, and they taught me so much on this journey, experiencing their accompaniment and gentle hearts. When my youngest son started having what I called explosions over what seemed like nothing, I was mystified. I remember longing for understanding, wanting information to know what was going on inside my child. And then when transitions became a living nightmare, I was so desperate for support and understanding. I purchased every single book and CD I could get my hands on to learn and integrate new ways to communicate. I learned from research and medical professionals that my son's diagnosis at 5 was pervasive developmental disorder, including sensory integration dysfunction, which is a complicated way of saying that he had difficulty processing information from his senses and responding appropriately, like with touch, movement, smell, taste, how he sees things, and especially his hearing. I knew in my heart that there must be a way to create an environment that would nurture his growth and development. And on this journey, I developed my own process, which I refer to as the Healing You method. To share this passion with others, I teach about the ways that relationships change us from the inside out. And I'll always remember my first experience of actually living this process in relationship with my son, rather than, quote, doing the process. Let me share the story with you now. We were in the car and we were transitioning from school to home when my son quickly shifted from using a louder than normal voice, saying, "I want to buy something at the store," to screaming and kicking the seat in front of him, and then hitting himself repeatedly in the face and banging his head on the door. Speaking any words at all would have been one word too many for him to hear in the face of such anguish. I quickly pulled over to the side of the road and I glanced at my cards that I had cues on for myself, that I'd taped them to the dash of the car. Immediately, a deep grief and an immense fear overwhelmed me as I frantically scanned my mind for what to do to help him. And I negated every idea that came to mind, as I already tried that and it didn't work. I remember pausing for just a moment and asking myself what might happen if I let go of getting it right and simply check in with myself. What might happen if I let go of the outcome for just this moment? And deliberately, I shut my eyes and I leaned back into my seat. I could hear my son as he thrashed around in the back seat. And so first I noticed feeling exhaustion and deep, immense sadness. And then feelings of overwhelm connected to my longing for ease and understanding. There was such a deep yearning for understanding, especially in relationship with my son. Tears of relief flowed as I connected within myself to experiencing the beauty of feeling ease connected with him. And imagining this just felt so incredibly sweet in the moment. I placed my hand over the warmth in my chest, and I felt a lightness radiate out from my heart. As I rested with the sensation in my body, I became curious. What could possibly be the need beneath the anger and fear of my son? Could it be he just wants to be heard and understood? Maybe acceptance, just as he is in the moment, without worry about any judgment or fear that something's wrong with him. To trust he is held with compassion and loved, to be welcomed exactly as he is. I noticed the loud noises from the back seat had stopped. I turned around and I saw my son curled up in a fetal position, sucking his thumb. Compassion just cascaded throughout my body. And getting out of the car, I climbed into the back seat next to him. And time stood still as I just gently lifted him in my arms and I held him in silence, fully present to the ease and the beauty of our heart connection in that moment. I felt my son's body tense up as a policeman pulled his car in behind us with his bright lights flashing. The policeman approached the window and he looked rather puzzled as he asked, "Is everything okay here? Do you need any help?" I felt warm and relaxed and replied, "No, thank you. My son and I were feeling overwhelmed and needed time to get regulated and calm." He tipped his hat and left us in peace. And I felt my son relax as he looked up at me with tear-stained eyes. And he hugged me tight and said, "I love you, Mommy." And in that moment, I experienced just how vital it is to stop, to connect with awareness to the beautiful needs under any desperate thoughts or desperate behavior. Rather than telling myself it's my job as a parent to help him, to make him stop it or fix it, I experienced the transforming power of unconditional love, the power of attuned relationship. Well, for me, this continues to be a journey of faith and a mindfulness practice to embody, integrating within myself the love and understanding that truly being present in relationship provides before attempting to attune in relationship with others, especially the one who's my son. Well, I stopped calling those times with my son when he felt overwhelmed with fear, explosions, or meltdowns. Instead, I remember that dysregulation is fear-based, and I trust in the power of unconditional love to restore peace within. Our brains and bodies continue to grow and change our entire lifetime. It's never too late to heal any painful after effects of emotional trauma, abuse, heartbreak, or patterns of self-criticism. The latest discoveries in mindfulness, neuroscience, and brain research reveal that our brains are neuroplastic. They continue to change and grow with experience. By experientially learning to accompany ourselves with kindness, warmth, resonance, and empathy, the critical voice that develops as a result of traumatic experiences can be permanently changed. The way of the horse and their profound heart energy exponentially supports this process to unfold when we partner with them. So how about you? Where in your life do you want to experience the transforming power of love? If you're ready to step out of the box, reach out to me at glorialeibecker.com. I look forward to connecting with you. And thanks for being on this journey with me here today. Healing you.